Now we will explain shortly what is the group by and how we could use in SQL query in SQL statements. Group by statement it's using if we use the aggregation function and not want to see the minimum, maximum, average, sum or count for the whole table. If we want to see grouping by some column, then we use the group by clause. With the name of this statement, it's really describing what exactly happening in it and how we could use. In group by clause, as I already mentioned, we could put a columns and see the result in particular groups. Let's show an example now. Group by it's leaving after, from, and where if we have the filter. Why? Because first we want to know which data we want to group and then to making the grouping part. For this reason, first we say in our statement from which table and which data from this table we want to progress, and after that to make a grouping and so on. And to say that we want to see the minimum, maximum, average, sum, salary per department and the number of employees per department again. Then just we'll put here department ID, because in employee table we still not have department name, have only department ID, and to get our data from one table and to know what is the minimum, maximum, average, sum, salary per department, then we put department name too. Something really useful, it's when we make the groups to put our column or columns, because here we could put more than one column, and to our group to be created like a combination of columns that we put in our group clause, for example department and title in the same time. And if we run it, we have this new grouping. But if we put it, doesn't matter is it only one or several columns in group by clause and not put them in select statement, our query it's not so detailed to say, and it's not really useful if we want to make a grouping to put columns only in the group by clause. For this reason it's good and more descriptive if we put in select statement to our columns. It's really important when we put the columns in select part and in a group by part, they to be synchronized. What I mean, if we want to grouping by department only and leave it for this way department and title ID, then we will have a problem. Then this will not working properly in MySQL and in every single relational database, and by default we will get the error that the grouping clause is not correct. We represent in the select statement some column that we are not making grouping on it. If we want to see it, we want to group on it too. If we don't want to group on the title ID, for example, then we don't need to put it in select part 2. It's really important to group by clause and select clause to be synchronized. What we have it in the first place in the select, to have it in group by like a columns on which we don't have aggregation functions. If we have the column that we don't want to group our data, then we will not leave it in select and in a group by 2. We will remove from both places. And yeah, and when we run it now, we will see that in the second department the mean salary is this, max is this, and so on, and how many employees are working there. To see how many they are working there, yeah, good to replace the end date with the star, because as was before, with end date we will count how many employees are left our department, because we want to count, just to count them we need to put star or ID column. In both cases we will reach the correct report. I hope you find out like useful this video. If it's that, click on the subscribe button and on the Kanban button to be informed for a next good video for you, that you could learn more regarding the database world. Thank you that you're watching, and we'll see you in the next video.